Alright, hello everyone, welcome to Selective Prep, Power Mathematics, test number 5. This is our solutions video. For the last time, I will be emphasizing how important it is to be watching these videos. There is no point in doing your exams if you don't watch the videos, okay? So this week we will be getting into an overview before the solutions, and our overview today will be focusing on something called 2Ps, so finding a pattern or a pair. So when we're given a sequence or a list of numbers, they usually have a pattern in them, or when we're asked to add them up and it's hard to make a pattern, okay, usually we want to make them into pairs to save some time. So a common example of a pattern used is the Fibonacci pattern. A lot of you might have heard of this. You're just adding the previous two numbers to get to the next number, previous two numbers to get to the next number. So this blank space is obviously going to be 13 plus 21, which is 34. Does it work? Make sure you check with the next number. 21 plus 34 equals 55. There you go. So the second term is going to be, or the second pattern here, example number 2 is 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, etc., etc. And they're asking you to find the 20th term. So you don't want to write all 20 terms out, right? You don't want to waste that much time. So there's two ways to go about this. One way could be, okay, so I'm adding 2 on each time. So I just need to add on 19 more times the first term. So it's going to be 3, and then 2 times 19 is 38. Okay, so 3 plus 38 equals 41. So this should be 41. Okay, so that was pretty quick. But keep in mind, this pattern is pretty simple. They're not going to ask you something like this. It'll usually be quite a bit harder. So you need to find another way of finding the 20th or 40th or 100th term, depending on what they ask you. So I'm going to introduce two letters called N and X. So N is the position number. So this is the first position, second, third, fourth. So it's basically just what position does it take in the term. Is it the first number? Is it the second number? Is it the third? Etc., etc. X is just what number is it? What number is that term? So obviously it's just 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I can find a pattern using these, or an equation using these two terms. So the relationship between N and X is going to be X equals 2N plus 1. So when N is the first position, 1, it's going to be 2 times 1 plus 1, which is 3, correct. When it's 2, it's going to be 2 times 2 plus 1, which is 5, correct, etc., etc. For the 40th term, it's going to be, for the 20th term, it's going to be 2 times 20 plus 1, 41. Boom, that's what we had before. Now, with our adding sequence or with our addition sequence, what we want to do is make pairs. So I can either make pairs with these extremes. How many numbers do I have though? I have 25 numbers. So I can make 12 pairs, and I'm going to have 1 left out though. Okay, and so I don't want to make pairs with extremes, because what that's going to result in is I'm going to get to the middle and not know what that one leftover term is. So I'm going to leave this one term out here, and I'm going to add the second and the last, the third and the second last, the fourth and the third last. Okay, and that's going to give me pairs of 52. So 3 plus 49, 52. 5 plus 47, 52. And so I'm going to have 12 pairs of 52. And when I multiply those, I'm going to get 4. 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 2, 5. So I should get 4, 2, 6. 624, add the 1. I should get 625. Okay, so it's very nice to be able to add these in pairs and then just multiply them out in like 10 seconds instead of adding every single one together. Okay? Now, question 1. We'll get into the solutions now. So Adam is 34 years younger than his father. So F minus 34. So that's Adam. His father is 4 years older than his mother. So M equals F minus 4. And then his mother is seven times older than his sister, who is 6. So his mother is 42. So if F minus 4 equals 42, F must equal 46. And then 46 minus 34 is going to be 12. Okay? Alright, the balance in the middle, or the balance below is shown, and it's balanced out. Okay, so there's 5 circles, which are 794.6 kilograms. Now, to find out what all 5 circles weigh, we need to multiply them together. So 3, 23, 45, 47, and then 39. Now, altogether, the circles weigh 3,973 kilograms, but we have two triangles balancing it out. So to find out what each triangle weighs, we should divide it by 2. So that's going to be 986.5. Okay, so 2 goes into 1, 13, 6.5 times. So the weight of one triangle should be 1986.5. All right, question 3 is a basic arithmetic question. So we have a random number multiplied by 7 divided by 3, and then add the result to its own square. Oops. Okay, so 703x all squared. So what you'll find out is none of these numbers, when you sub in any of these numbers instead of x, okay, they won't give you a whole number unless it's divisible by 3. Okay, the issue is only one of our answers is divisible by 3, okay, and that should have helped you. What you probably would have done is checked with all these numbers anyways, okay, sub them all in to find the answer. But a crucial hint for you to be able to decide what to start off with should have been, all right, start off with the one that's divisible by 3, because the denominator is 3, and this is a whole number, okay? So to get a whole number instead of a fraction, I should choose a number that's divisible by 3. Okay, to get rid of that bottom 3 and not get me a disgusting decimal or fraction of a number. Okay, and so the only number that's divisible by 3 is 27 there. So that's what you probably would have wanted to do, and that is your answer as well. So if you want to plug it in and see what the answer is, you can, but I won't be going over the maths right now because we have better things to do with our time. So, Vicious Vipers won 24 out of 25 games. Pathetic Pythons won 3 out of 25. What's the percentage difference? Well, let's find the fractional difference first. So, 24 minus 3 is 21 over 25. We know that 1 over 25 is 4%. Okay, 4%. And so, 4% times 21 is 84%. Question 5. 53 years ago, the sum of ages of 12 different children was 96. So 96 divided by 12 is going to be 8. So there were 8. So 12 children were 8 53 years ago, meaning there were 61 now. There's still 12 of them, luckily. And so when we multiply that, we should get 2, 12, 1, 6. So we should get 732 now. All right, 10,600,000 and another 3,000 is written in expanded form using powers of 10. So 10 million is going to be this, right? So there's 7 zeros, meaning that it's 1 times 10, and it's been multiplied by 10 7 times. So it's 10 to the power of 7. For 600,000, there's 5 zeros, which means it's 6, and then it's been multiplied by 10 5 times. And then for 3,000, it's 3 times 10 multiplied by 10 3 times. So it's going to be 1 times 10 to the 7 plus 6 times 10 to the 5 plus 3 times 10 to the 3, so 8. Now, question 7. When Mario eats a mushroom, he jumps in a perfect semicircle, okay, with height 2, okay, which means that this distance to the middle is 2, and then to the enemy is 2 as well. So it's a radius, okay, it's a semicircle, so everything here is a radius, which means that he needs to jump 4 meters to go from point A to point B, where the bad guy is, okay? So he needs to jump 4 meters, or jumps 4 meters away. Now, Harry worked on a music assignment over the weekend, Monday and also Tuesday. Works, sorry, I'll just write this out first. Works 3/4 of with the weekend, which is 48 divided by 4 times 12, which is 36 hours. Okay, altogether, add these up, you get 60 hours. Okay, over 4 days, so 60 hours over 4 days equals 15 hours per day. Okay, so that is our average. Now, question 9, we have a square of we have a square with 1/4 of it being area 81. So 81 times 4 is 432. So the area of the square is 324 centimeters squared. Now, to find the side length, it should be side times side. So x squared equals 324. X is 18 centimeters, okay? It was a bit difficult to find, but if you square a number, okay, it's got to be less than 20, because 20 times 20 is 400. It's got to be bigger than 15, because that's 225. And then between those two numbers, 8 times 8 is the only number that will end in 4, okay? So 18 times 18, if you want to double check it, if you don't trust me, Okay, all the other numbers will end in a different number. But when you do 8 times 8, it ends with, it's 64, so it ends with a 4 here. And so it should give you a 4 like that. All the other numbers will be like 6. So 16 times 16 will end with a 6. 17 times 17 will end with a 9. 19 times 19 will end with a 1. Okay, so the only number that works here is 18. So 8 times 1 is 14. So 8 times 1 plus 6 is 14. And then we have 18 here, gives you 324. So, if 6 of these same squares were used to make a cube, what would be its volume? So, we need now multiply surface area and times by length. So, that's another x. So, 324 times 18. So, that's going to be 8 times 4 is 2. Carry the 3 over. 8 times 2 is 16. Carry the 1 over. 8 times 3 is 24. So, add the 1 is 25. So, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3. 1, so that's 8, and then 5. So that should give you your volume there. Last question, which number is the most likely number needed to complete the following pattern? So this one was a little bit weird. We didn't exactly find like a pattern for it. More so 5 is, this is plus 5, plus 10, plus 17, plus, I believe this was plus 26. And then this is plus 37. Okay, so we can see we're adding more and more at a time. So we're adding 5 more here. We're adding 7 more here. We're adding 9 more here. We're adding 11 more here, which must mean we're adding 13 more on the next one. So this is plus 5, plus 10, plus 17, plus 26, plus 37. And instead of plus 37, we're going to do plus 37, plus 13. So it's going to be plus 50, which means that the last number should be 150. Okay, so part D. Alright, so that pattern was a little bit convoluted because it was like a double layer pattern. But hopefully now that I've explained it, you kind of get it. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this video. The key point from this test was just finding a pattern. When you're given a sequence or a list of numbers, try and find a pattern or make a pairing system to make it more efficient for you over like the period of the test so you don't waste a bunch of time. Otherwise, I hope the rest of that test was okay. I will see you in the next video. Good job for following along, guys.